Live right now, boys. We're live, boys. Hey.
Hey, oh, wait. Are we really though?
We are.
Mhm.
We are live.
Oh, yes.
We're going. And I'm going to listen to this real quick just to.
Just to make sure we're in the mix.
Well, it just connected to the Kia car, so. Just to.
Don't mess
Yep.
up on the bass tonight, Chuck. Just to make sure we're in.
We are live, and Abby probably got like a quick. Like a few seconds of us. Because my phone connected to the Kia.
Oh.
So that's why I couldn't hear it. But audio levels are sounding good.
Good.
So we're starting with Thanksgiving.
Yes, yes. How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
I had to work, so it was just another day. We didn't go anywhere afterwards, so mine was rather bland. We did have like a turkey, or we didn't do turkey. We did like chicken breasts and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese and corn and stuff like that, but nothing too
Sounds pretty good.
crazy. It was just the three of us. What about you guys?
This was the first Thanksgiving since the divorce, so I thought it was going to be pretty awkward. But it ended up being okay. It actually ended up being good. Everybody there was very welcoming and put my anxiety to bed because I voiced my concern and they were like, "No, you're fucking crazy, dude. Don't even worry. You're still family."
Hmm.
So it
You're
went
still
well
Uh,
though.
family. We're we're not excited about the other one coming.
Yeah, this is the first time we're the in-laws. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna finish that.
For
No, I
legal
went well.
reasons, you shouldn't.
No. Oh, you know what's funny too is like it ended up being the same as it always is anyway. So like I was actually in there talking to her whole family while she was outside, kind of isolating herself
Mhm.
because it was also the first time she invited her girlfriend. So it was oh yeah, I don't think I've really gone into it, huh? Have I,
No,
Pork Fat?
I didn't. I didn't know that.
No.
She's a lesbian now.
Okay,
A
God
lesbian.
damn Lebion.
that's cool. How was
So
that aspect of the Thanksgiving? The girlfriend over.
it was actually a last minute thing because the entire time, we were going back and forth because she has a little bit of jealousy over me still because because I'm still considered like the ex, so she still has that idea of me like, oh well, they were together once, it could happen again,
I mean,
and
she realizes that you guys have kids together and you're going to be involved with her for the rest of their lives, or at least until they're 18 or whatever stuff. Like she realizes that, right? That that's a
yeah, oh
problem
yeah,
already. I
yeah.
don't see. I don't. Yeah, I don't see that working out.
No, I know. I mean, she's trying to get over it. It sounds like, but her jealousy is so bad that it's
That's good, and sometimes you just can't control it. Like you can't help how you feel, even if you know that it is, illogical to feel that way.
yeah. And you know what? Honestly, like when I talk to her, her new partner, we get along. Actually, we're quite similar in some aspects, which is kind of funny because like it's like I joke now, and I'm like, all you did was find a female version of me, right? That's all you did. She
Like
doesn't
that
like
is
that.
just a me with female parts.
Yeah, yeah, for for real though. Yeah, she does not like that comment,
Huh.
but no, yeah, it went well, surprisingly well, and I had like two plates of food. I think I rolled myself out of there at the
Huh.
at the end. What about you, pork fats?
Mine was good. I went to Illinois and I went to my wife's family, and food was done. My wife offered to make me a plate, which I should have known that something was up from that moment. But she brings me this plate, and it is huge. It's a giant plate of food. No way that I can finish it. So by the time that I'm getting full, and I still have a full plate of food, she starts like putting the idea to her mom that I didn't really like the food, so I haven't really eaten anything. And her mom only speaks Spanish, and I don't speak enough Spanish to defend myself. So then her brother comes in and starts piling on too about I don't know, he must not have liked it. Like, and it just reminded me of Bry's Thanksgiving when he was telling his family that I don't remember if it was Suzanne or Mary Beth, but that they didn't like his cousin's dessert that she made. It reminded me of that. I thought it was funny. But yeah, it was good though.
She sabotaged you on purpose.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like, what do you gain from this? If what do you gain? I don't know. She just likes to cause chaos.
She gains making you look bad. Like,
Yeah. I guess that's it. But yeah, then she ended up having to stay down there longer. So, and then because she was staying down there longer, she had to go back to work. So the rest of the trip didn't really work out the way that it was supposed to. But it was fun though. I got to see some fresh snow, like powder snow. Every snow I've ever seen before is ice. So it was interesting change. But it was nice. We got to go to the few different events, and they all worked out well. And yeah, it was fun. Oh yeah, Survivor Series. So we thought it was over, and we walked out, and where we were, there was a bathroom right there. So I went to the bathroom and walked out, and uh, Maritza came up to me and she's like, "Something's going on. Everybody's going crazy out there." So we walked back out there, and then there was just everybody was leaving already. So the stairs were all full and everything, and everybody was just standing all over the place. All I could do was stand in the back and kind of look up and see the screen. I heard the music, CM Punk's music, so I just watched it, but nothing else really happened. You just stayed there and walked around the stage and stuff like that. But we had pretty good seats, and I got a nice clip of all the faces doing their finishers in the War Game cell, like moves from one side of the ring to the other. It was a lot of fun. When LA Knight came out on SmackDown, it was nuts. It was loud. Everybody was super into it. I'm surprised he didn't come out at all at that Survivor Series. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And there's not a bad seat in that place. There is not a bad seat in that whole place. Allstate Arena. Yeah, fantastic. Then we went there for the Kiss show on Monday, and the stage that Paul Stanley flies out to and lands on, we were like right next to it. There was a barricade right there, a walkway, and then my seat right there. Boom. So it was cool, and also there was a bunch of confetti cannons were right there around that little stage too. So when the confetti started going off, boom, we were covered. And then they throw out these big balloons, like they do with the beach balls to go around. But as soon as somebody gets their hands on one, they hold on to it. It makes me so mad. I hate that. I never got to touch one of those things. I just want to hit one once. I've never gotten to touch one.
I'll buy you one.
Never.
I'll buy you one. I said I'll buy you one. We'll go hit it.
It's not about of hitting a balloon or whatever. It's about in that moment, the encore is playing and the confetti's going and we're hitting the ball around. Like, it's all part of that. They rob me of it every time because some asshole has to grab it and hold on to it. Like, oh, I'm going to keep this balloon for the rest of my life or something like that. Whatever.
Well, we could have somebody there with a confetti cannon and a little like Bluetooth speaker and play some Kiss, and then I'll throw the balloon at you, and then they'll fucking pop the confetti cannon.
That sounds
band,
nice.
band, 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 band.
I could definitely.
Are you tired of hearing that song live?
No.
You should be. They open and close with that song, and they play it in the middle.
They do that every show 3 times. They're like, you know what? We know what song you want.
Who was it? Jake told me that. I think Brian Adams. Does Brian Adams do Summer of '69?
Yes.
Did somebody? I think he told me that he played that twice in concert once. He played it like in the beginning, and then at the end, after the encore, he played it again. He's like, I know what you guys want to hear.
You want to hear it
I think that's
again?
cool. Yeah.
Why not? So overall, sounds like everybody had a decent Thanksgiving.
hmm
Mm.
Yeah, I did have a good one, but I did not get to see that Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that got to see it because I didn't want to wait and get it for free.
I
Hold
just
on.
didn't have a chance. Especially Marissa went back to work, and then I was stuck at her place with no car, and then I had to get my son on the bus and off the bus from school, and like it was just no time.
See, and for me, uh, my girlfriend was actually there when we were talking about it on in that group chat, and she saw that we were going back and forth on if we were going to see it together or if we were going to see it separately, depending on how our schedules, were met up. So I brought it up to her. I was like, I don't think we're going to probably get our schedules. I was like, we barely get our schedules together now. I was like, we have to do over basically
Yeah,
like we have to do it over like a Zoom meeting over here.
Zoom.
So, so I was like, yeah, we should just go watch it. And she was like, no, 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 no. I want you to
Somebody
watch it with
says.
and
Somebody says.
your friend. And she's like,
One
go
of
and
you down
enjoy.
to prank call my friend? He's been.
Huh?
Somebody's asking if we're wanting to prank call their friend.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
yeah,
This is
I
a
wouldn't be opposed to it, I guess.
It's been a long
I
time, but
mean you'd be throwing their number up live for a lot of people to potentially eventually see it because this is going on YouTube and everything. so
oh no, I mean, we can't
so
blur that out
I mean I
because
can't.
it's live. It can't be blurred out.
This is live. When we edit it, I mean I could. It says, yeah, good. He's annoying.
It doesn't fucking matter. Just fucking roast his ass.
I don't even know what we would really say to him.
I mean, let's get some details. Who is this? Who is this person, and why do you feel like they're annoying?
It's Mr. Beast 6000 was taken. Sorry, is his name or her name.
Don't let that Mister title fool you. This is
uh,
2023.
Hey, just do that. Do that. Your daughter kicked my dog thing. I live on your street. Just do that. Hit him with that.
He's wanting me to do the "is your refrigerator running" thing.
Okay.
That's the oldest one.
But we were talking about the Thanksgiving movie. The only one who did see it, and I will say it is worth seeing. Um, it's not one of those. It's not a movie where you need to see it in theater. The theater is not going to add a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, it
it
doesn't.
would if you were like in a packed house, I
Entertainment.
guess. But we
Oh yeah, you get everybody's reactions and stuff at the.
Yeah.
Does it draw reactions? Do you think in a packed theater there would be some audible reactions throughout the movie?
I mean, they did a lot of the obvious jump jump scare stuff, and Abby did a few times do the little flinches so it's
Mm-hmm.
possible for people who get scared easier.
Mm-hmm.
It was us and one other couple that was in there, but we seen it the opening showing on a Sunday morning when people are still in church
Yeah.
and still waking up from the party the night before.
Hmm.
Um,
Do you
oh,
think it was inspired at all by that Grindhouse trailer?
I think it was. I don't know. Do you remember who made that fake trailer for the movie? Because I know they had
I
some famous
don't.
people do it,
I don't.
and this one was done by Eli Roth.
Okay,
Um,
maybe that was. So this is an Eli Roth movie. I bet it was. Look
yeah.
it up real quick. Look it
Uh,
up real quick. I bet it was. Because didn't who did the Machete one? Was that a Robert Rodriguez one?
that
And then
was
he did the movie as well.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure any of the other stuff in there was all it was all big name people, or at least horror people or whatever. I don't remember who did the new Evil Dead, but I loved the new Evil Dead, and I was gonna see how it compared to that, but I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, yeah, it does say direct Thanksgiving director Eli Roth turned a fake trailer into a real movie.
Okay, there you
So
go.
there you go. Confirmation.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That experience of Grindhouse in the theater. I remember I took some 151 in there, and got a Sprite.
151. Party with the
It, it,
foxes.
that was a good night. I was feeling it too. That was the only time I ever drank in a theater
Uh,
that I remember.
After we're done streaming and this isn't live, if you want to give us his number, we could do it the next time to get it all set up.
Or we can do it and record that separately and release it as a short too.
We could.
That'd be a good
I
one.
But I
just
think you
I
probably
just
want to
don't
discuss
want
the theme.
I just don't want like real personal info from somebody. just
I mean,
just
nobody
out there.
answers their phone anymore, right? Like a number that they don't have or whatever.
It's still out there. You could get pissed off at us. I don't I
Yeah,
don't
well,
I
I mean,
mean,
I
is he
don't
going to
know.
answer when we call? I'll bet he don't even answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe though, it's worth a shot.
let's just do it at the end of the episode, so that way we can actually have like time
Yeah.
to plot.
Hmm.
I'd also have to just like hold my phone up like this and hope that everything comes through for you guys.
Yeah, yeah. All
And
right, so how do you
he's
guys feel about Eli Roth's previous works?
I'm a fan of his movies. He is talking about doing more Hostel and more uh Cabin
Cabin
Fever
Fever?
movies.
Have you seen the other Cabin Fevers? He didn't do them, but there are
Uh
two other ones, maybe three.
I think I seen the first remake, and
Well, not the remake, the sequel.
isn't
Because I
there
forgot they
isn't
did
there a
remake that too,
remake?
and the remake wasn't as good.
That's the only other one I seen, and when I watched it I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Like
See,
both
I think
because it
the
wasn't
first
him.
Cabin Fever had a really weird tone, and I think it put a lot of people off. But I enjoyed it, and I know you enjoyed it. And the remake that they did, um, they tried to make it a full serious tone, which I think was a good idea if they're going to remake it. But then they still put in a couple of the weird things in there, so it just seemed even more off and weird to me. So I don't know. I did not enjoy it as much as the original for sure. The sequels, there's a
Dude,
they're
why don't you do
enjoyable,
a
but they're
thumbs
they're
up
definitely not
on
as good.
dude, why don't
Was
you
that?
click thumbs up on him? Because like you just got a
That
thumbs up pop up on your screen, pork.
Oh no, I didn't click nothing. I didn't see nothing.
That's
Um,
weird.
But there's the two that I remember. One of them it takes place at a high school, and they get some lemonade or whatever, and it's made with the water that's in that creek that's contaminated with Ryder Strong's blood at the end of the first one, and then everybody at the school starts getting it, and it's fun and whatever. But like the everybody like they'll drink it, and then 2 minutes later they're like projectile vomiting all over the place. And then, except for like when the story needs somebody to be sick for a while, so there's no consistency there. But I think it's more fun. I think they know what they're doing and what they're going for. And the other one, I think it's called Patient Zero, and it's supposed to be the first person that had that.
Yeah.
And it's what's his face, the guy that plays Samwise in the Lord of the Rings movies, who's Rudy. It's that
Oh,
guy. He plays the person who's supposed to be the patient zero. They like have him locked up on an island because they're like experimenting on his blood and
Sean
stuff.
Astin.
Sean Astin, yeah. But then, yeah, I won't spoil it, even though it's an old movie and it was straight to DVD and whatever. But it was good. I actually really liked that one a lot.
Did you notice the
And
name
then
I went with this week?
Hostel 3 is fantastic.
Say that again. You guys talked over each other a little bit.
I said, did you notice the name I went with this week?
I don't see it. No, what is it?
Dr. Mambo.
Oh, hell yeah. Man, I wanted to name a dog Dr. Mambo so bad, but I always got vetoed. And I don't want a dog personally, so that's not going to happen. I want to name somebody else's dog that.
If we ever get a dog, it's most likely going to be Dr. Mambo.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to
Have you guys
chow,
seen Hostel 3?
I have seen all of them,
It's not a
but
Eli Roth, I don't think, but it takes place in Las Vegas, and there's like people gambling on
yeah.
what people will do in the rooms and stuff like that. Pretty cool premise, and I mean you could tell it's lower budget and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. I remember there's one line that I won't spoil, but it is hilarious, and I still remember it to this day. Good movie though. Good movie though. I recommend it.
Speaking of Eli Roth, like he was in the first Hostel movie, but the actor that plays Lewis Litt on Suits, he's
Mm-hmm.
a character. He plays somebody in Thanksgiving, and when he popped up,
Oh, really?
all I was like, "Is that's Lewis?" That's all I could see him as is Lewis. And then I made the connection. And I was like, "Oh yeah, he was in another Eli Roth movie. Maybe they're buddies."
Yeah. What about Green Inferno? Did you guys see that?
That was his cannibal movie, right?
Yeah.
I seen it
I thought
once, and I remember, if I remember
I
correctly,
loved it. I think it's a hard movie to recommend to anybody because it's definitely not for everybody. But I loved it. Like it made me really uncomfortable.
yeah.
And I like when horror. I don't want to be uncomfortable, but I like the fact that the movie can make me feel like that. Like I appreciate that. What did you think about the direction of this movie, though? The music and stuff like that, the sound and the kills and yada yada.
Some of the kills were like interesting. Like I don't want to give anything away kill wise, but like there's a couple in there that are pretty cool. Um, Lewis Litt's wife in the movie, like his new wife, the is it she's like a character you want to see die.
Okay, that's
You
good.
just can't stand her from the start,
Mm-hmm.
and when it happens, you're like, oh, that is a shitty way to go, even for like this unlikable fucking piece of shit. That
Nice.
sucks. But at the same time, it's
that's how
still
they
cool
get
as
you at the
shit.
last second. They pull you in as a fan because of how gruesome the murder is. You're like, oh, she wasn't that bad, I guess.
Like it's one of those ones where you're like, that's a new way I never want to die when it happens. You're like, no. Just
I remember the last couple of I know these might seem outdated and stuff now, but at the times that it happened, I remember the Encino Evil Kane shoving the phone down the guy's throat or whatever. That was
yeah,
pretty cool and original. And then there's this movie called Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
It's like he's a host of a bunch of different horror stories, and it's not great. But in one of them, there's a guy who's running, and I don't remember if there's a 40 on the ground or if he's holding it, but he falls down and the 40 goes in his mouth and out the back of his throat. And I was like, that's pretty cool. That was a really memorable, interesting kill. and the graphics were pretty good.
Yeah,
everything on the last Evil Dead movie though, you guys have seen it, but it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
I have not.
Not the same tone as like the other Evil Deads, at least the second, third one when it starts getting funny or whatever, or Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is fantastic. But it definitely is its own thing, and I think it makes room for everything else to have been continuity. It's still within the same continuity. Really good though. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it.
See, I was going to see it based off your recommendation because I know the last time we talked about it, you were like, it doesn't matter if you see. It doesn't necessarily matter if you see the original. It's that good of a movie; it can stand on its own.
Definitely.
I really do want to like set aside a weekend and just watch all of them, like if I could.
Including Ash versus Evil Dead.
All. Oh yeah.
Ash vs. Evil Dead is so good. The episodes are only a half hour long, and I mean and they might not even be a full half hour. They were on a special channel, so they might be 27 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever, no commercials. But Ash vs. Evil Dead is fantastic.
It wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't mind throwing it in the marathon. The only thing is, how long is it? Like how long is the
There's 3
series?
seasons, and there's probably maybe 10 episodes per, maybe 8 to 10 episodes per. I want to
All
say.
right.
They go by
Okay.
so quick, though. I mean, it's a great show. There's some great
That's
comedy. It's got great visuals in it. It's lots of good practical effects still too. It does. I think it does a good job with the lore and continuing the story. But it's also Sam Raimi doing it. So
That's not bad though. That could actually be probably squeezed into the marathon if I wanted it to.
really good. It's really good.
I just have to take notes that way we can actually talk about all of this. So I don't.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it for sure.
Honestly, I would like to actually make it a weekend. Probably watch it with my oldest, and I could just hang out.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely very graphic, very very gory. Yeah. I don't know how old your oldest is, but I don't know. You might want to watch the first episode first.
Are there any boobies?
What's that?
I said, are there any boobies?
I'm pretty sure there are definitely some dead ones, maybe some live ones.
What about
Either way, I mean,
what about
he's old.
wieners?
Yes, definitely. There's definitely some wieners, definitely.
You sold me. You sold me on wiener.
Let's just say I've shown him worse stuff than anything Evil Dead could probably offer. Trust me, that kid.
Buddy, check out this weird puerno that I found. Look at what he's doing to her.
It's pretty far out there to get worse than that, though. I mean, you have to check it out. It's definitely way worse than anything you've seen in the movies. The Evil Dead movies.
I mean, you would probably think I'm crazy for it, but the truth is we both stumbled upon it. I think I told what was it, Dr. Mambo over there?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mambo. I've told him, I don't know where he is on my screen, but we were doing like a Harry Potter marathon because he shares that love of that series with me. And yes, I know for all the fans out there going boo. Yeah, I know. Anyway, we were sifting through HBO, and I didn't even know this show existed. Apparently, it's existed for like 10 years in the UK, and it caught me by surprise because I was like, "There's no way this is what we think it is." By just the thumbnail on HBO, I was like, "This has got to be what it says it is." But it's nutty as hell that this show even exists. And we both turned on an episode and watched it, but it's can't let me say it's called Naked Attraction. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
All right.
This is what he watches with his son every Sunday night. They never miss an episode.
It's become a tradition. No, it was
Keep
it was
in
definitely
mind,
eye-opening.
keep in mind his son is only 8.
Oh shit! I already said he was 16, so don't even try. So we're sitting there and we pop it on, and it starts out as a game show. It turns out it's like a game show, almost like a newlywed, but a dating. It's like it's like one of those dating, except it's different than any other dating reality show that's ever existed. Instead of getting to know the person first, they get to know each other's bodies first. And it starts out that there's like 6 people,
I
and they're
would
in
never
these.
watch this with my dad ever. Never.
You
Yeah.
know, you know what's fucked up?
We
He was
both
the one that
liked it.
let's check it out, because I was like,
Oh yeah,
holy
I'm
shit!
sure. Yeah, no, sure.
And he was like, why don't you turn it on, Dad? And I don't know, man. I was like, that's kind of weird. He's like, ah, he's like, I've seen weirder. And then I was like, the fuck are you talking about? You've seen weirder? And he's like, come on, Dad. I've seen puernos before.
I
And I was
walked
like,
in
yeah.
on Mom and Mom.
If he's seen that, I don't. That's news to me.
Good gravy.
But so we turn it. So there's like 6 booths, and they're all different colors. And you would think, like, at the very least, like, they start at the head, and then they warm you up to it, right? Mm-mm. Start at the fucking bottoms, and they work their way up to the head through. And then, yeah, it's the weirdest fucking show I have ever heard about in my entire life. And it goes as well as you would expect it to go, because sex is always, they always say it ruins a relationship and all this, but man, when it starts the relationship, or the interaction, it is the worst way to start an interaction. They fail without effort. It's just hilarious. This one guy, because I couldn't help it, but I watched all the way through, and this guy, he purposely hooked up with this lady, and he's like this 60-year-old buff dude, like really roided out guy. And of course he seems like the asshole that's just gonna fucking run, and of course he ends up being the guy that just fucks and runs. And they literally show like a recap of it. They bring him back to the couch, and they talk on a couch about how the date went and after what happened and all this and that. And they bring him back, and they literally proceed to have like a fucking 5-minute argument on camera about who's lying. And he starts completely gaslighting her. He's like, no, I never said that. And then she's holding up text messages to prove that that's exactly what he said. It was the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life. But that, and the fact that we've watched a crap ton of horror movie already, I would say that the combination of that's nothing Evil Dead could touch, in my
All right,
opinion.
got it.
Sorry, that show is crazy to me.
All right, have you guys heard about what's going on with the Scream movie franchise?
I have.
Oh yeah.
What do you
Like
think about this?
Well,
uh,
I was watching the last Scream movie, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look something up real quick. And I was sitting there with Harley, and I was like, the show popped up called Naked and Afraid, or whatever that show is called. What was it? Naked and Dating.
you fucked up, man. You already fucked up the joke. Just
And then she's like, let's
guy.
watch this, Dad. And I was like, yeah, that's a
Yeah, the
good
difference
idea.
Obviously, yeah, we're gonna watch it.
Dude,
And they had this buff 60-year-old woman that was all roided out.
Yeah. You don't?
It was awesome. She had knee
Hey, you know
knockers.
what? I sat there and listened to you guys talk about Hostel and all of that guy's work and shit. You can't sit through one little conversation of a TV show that was mind blowing that it even exists. Oh, and the craziest shit is that it's got 10 fucking seasons. That's the crazy.
Wow.
Because I thought it was
I
new.
understand that show existing now, but existing in 2013, that's weird.
That's the mind blowing part of it. I was like, holy shit, this show has existed for a very long time.
Too long.
Didn't you say it was from like the UK?
I did,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
They are
It makes sense. It makes sense, but
they're a very different mindset.
clearly,
They don't look at that stuff the same way.
Mm.
But the Scream news, I need to pull up her name again because I already forgot it. Melissa Barrera
Hmm.
posted those tweets. Just her opinions on where she stands
Hmm.
and the movie theater or the movie company. Is it Warner? Does Warner own Scream?
I think so.
Do,
What,
do they?
whatever
I know.
company it
I have
is,
Scream as Miramax, but I don't know if somebody
Miramax.
bought Miramax and they probably. Yeah, Time Warner probably owns Miramax or something like that.
But they decided to fire her for voicing her opinion.
Hmm.
And then there's conflicting reports, and I don't know which one to believe. The initial one was Jenna Ortega quit in solidarity to support Melissa Barrera. And then, like a day and a half later, it came out that she was going to quit anyway.
Hmm.
Because in the Scream movies, she's just playing a support character. Whereas in Wednesday season 2, she's a producer and the main character.
So there
So
really was a schedule conflict, and that's what. Do you think it was the actors' strike that caused the schedule conflict that caused her to have to make this
I'm not
decision?
I'm not sure, but
That's crazy that they would not accommodate her 100%. Either franchise.
I mean,
Honestly, it could also be a PR stunt. I mean, you think about it. She does it on a rash decision. She quits, and then now she's got to play damage control. And now there's these conflicting stories that could easily be one true and one false. But since we're not sure, it kind of gets her ass out of the fire, so to speak, a little bit, and gives her a cushion, so that way she could see which way the wind blows. Really, I mean, that's a possibility.
she
See,
should have
I
time.
think that Scream did a good job. They just, with that last movie, what's it, the sixth one? They just got it to where it's all their story now. There's nothing about the original Woodsboro murders that play into the ongoing story now. So they finally they took two movies, which I think was a great idea, to get it away from that story. Now I don't really care for that main character anyway. Sam, I think, is her name in the movie. Don't really care for her. Um, Actress does a fine job. It's not her fault that I don't like her. Um, and Jenna Ortega is she definitely like them two. Like both of them are the new Sydney after that last movie. Like I don't think either one of them is more important than the other. I think originally Sam was going to be more important, but I think by the end of the second one they're co-leads. So I don't think she's a supporting character at all.
Yeah,
Jenna Ortega.
is
I really liked how they got it off and started doing their own thing, though. I was looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. Even though they should have paid Nev Campbell and they should have brought her back, regardless. I mean, but now they lost their main character. Do you think they're going to recast? Do you think they're going to go back to the original Woodsboro story? Because hey, we're sorry the new stuff didn't work out, but we don't think you're going to trust us with more new stuff, so we're going to go back to the old stuff, or what?
Well, do you think they're
uh
gonna? Do you think that they're going to follow through and not bring her back at all? I mean,
I don't
do
know.
you think the studio's getting a backlash at all? I mean, I know there's going to be people on both sides, but the truth is you're talking about squashing. I get that there's you got to follow certain ethical or character guidelines when you're in a movie and when you're in front of a screen at all. You have to portray yourself as at least one way or neutral.
yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, they are literally squashing her freedom of speech. You don't
Yeah,
think that the fans are going to come back and fight for her just because of those tweets?
definitely. Definitely. And we've seen it go both ways. We've seen people get fired because of tweets and never brought back. We've seen people get fired because of tweets and then eventually brought back later. So it could go either way. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of a setting a precedent. So, I mean, I don't think people should be fired because of tweets like that. So,
Yeah, 'cause honestly, that's
my opinion.
that's the scariest part is where it lends itself for the future. You're right. The precedent that it sent or that it
Mhm.
sends throughout the entire industry is either you do what we tell you to do and you promote our values and ethics, or you're gone.
And it's not even. It's not even. I mean, I guess it could be about which values and ethics you're espousing, but we've seen people on both sides of the political aisle get in trouble for it. Um, but yeah, I think the precedent should be that people should not be getting fired because of that. Although people do have the option of not hiring somebody they don't want to work with for whatever reason too. I mean, I guess that probably doesn't work that way everywhere, but I know at least here it's right to work, right? That means somebody can be fired for no reason at all. They can just say, hey, you're fired.
With
So
There's,
with both of them
I
being gone, I think that frees up a lot of money to bring Nev Campbell back to try and save it.
I mean that's
I mean,
true.
that is true. I mean, you could end up
How
getting
much
a
could
better
that main
story.
girl have been making in the first place? Jenna Ortega, maybe, but I don't even think she would be getting as paid as much as she would for the next one because Wednesday hadn't happened yet. I know she's been around, but I don't think she was commanding that kind of money either. I don't think both of them were very expensive. I don't know, but I would guess not.
I mean, with what Nev Campbell, with what they were going to offer her, and then now having the money from those two might bring it close to what she was wanting.
I mean, but they had Courtney Cox and David Arquette in the fifth one, and then Courtney Cox again in the sixth one. I mean, they're probably commanding money, right?
No,
Probably
probably not really.
not as
Plus, Jack
much.
Quaid was in the fifth one. He's got a rising star because of his work in The Boys.
The I watched the first Hunger Games and I noticed he was in that movie.
Oh, really?
Katniss kills the fucking shit out of him with an arrow.
Nice.
But
Is he a jerk off too?
does he in that movie? I don't think he does.
I don't know. I was just asking. I haven't. I seen that once a long time ago, and I got a bootleg copy, and I don't think it was a good one because I don't think the whole movie was on there. I think he just kept skipping around from place to place. I had
Well,
no idea what was going on.
I mean, if you remember him jerking off, it's not the same
No,
movie.
no. I said, was he a jerk off?
Oh, I thought you asked, was he jerking off? I was like, that's
Oh
a
no.
That's why I gave that face. Like, what the fuck did he just say? Is
oh
he? I was like,
yeah,
I'm glad we
jerk.
cleared that up.
yeah. He was a jerk in the movie, but I was like, no, I don't think they showed anybody jerking off in that movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
But
that's good.
That'd be one hell of a role for him.
I
Yeah.
I do think they should bring back the TV show and finish the Brandon James story.
I never watched it.
Like there's 3 seasons of the TV show. The first and second season are one story, and then they like ended it, and then I think they canceled it, but then brought it back because a lot of people were like, "Fuck you, bring it back,
Mm.
you pieces of
Mm.
fucking shit." And they're like, "Okay, we'll bring it back, but we're not gonna make it anything about what you just seen the last 2 seasons. Here's a completely new fucking season, and the Brandon James mask doesn't exist. We're gonna use the fucking Ghostface mask." And like the third season, you're just like, okay, it's Ghostface. If I want to see Ghostface, I'll watch the movies. Finish the fucking Brandon James story. Spent 2 seasons fucking hyping us up, getting us excited on it. Just be like, nah, nah. But there are talks about a season 3 finally happening. But that's like,
A season 3 of that continuation because you said there
yeah,
was a season 3, right? But you mean a third season of
like a
that
third
original
season
story?
of that to finish
Oh,
that
okay.
story. But like all those actors now are fucking like 10 years older. I would have
Yeah, so
guessed
see that's the
somewhere around
problem.
there.
Maybe they could make the movie about. No, that would be too. They'd have to. Got to be some reason for this. This next movie can't just come out of nowhere and be its own thing, unless they just decide to reboot the whole series. It can't just be its own thing. They got to at least, like I said, they did a good job with 5 and 6. The way that they started it being connected and then they separated into its own. They did a great job, and unfortunately, that went to waste. They might just bring her back, though. Who knows?
They
It just
I
blows
think
my mind that it's a conflict of scheduling that caused Jenna Ortega to leave. It's crazy that would be the reason. You would think that both of them would do whatever they could to accommodate. Like I said, unless the actors strike made the schedules all out of whack, and now there's just no way to get them at a different time. They're both going to be shooting at the same time, whatever. I don't know, but that just seems crazy to me. So you're saying that even if they didn't fire the main girl, that Jenna Ortega would have left? According to whatever story that came out.
if the story
it's
about
not
her
true.
leaving for Wednesday is accurate.
Oh,
See,
interesting.
that's why I think it's a publicist doing that, man. I really do. I think it's a publicist that made that move, so that way she could have a cushion either way it blows, either way the wind blows. Because if she's like, oh no, that was just a rumor, or oh no, that was just a rumor, she could always
Okay.
happen that, and
So
that's
she
the
can
thing.
get out of standing in solidarity with her if need be, if that's the way the tide's turning.
Or she could go right back and even boost her up. I mean, you think about how good that would look if everything did get reversed, and then there she was the whole time in solidarity, supporting freedom of speech and all that stuff up. You know, got America, you know, whatever. And
Fuck yeah!
no, but it's true, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, oh, I support our Constitution, and everybody think about it. I mean, that's the whole thing. So she's just, I think it's honestly not a publicity stunt. I think it's a publicity strategic move, just in case.
That makes sense.
Well, if you don't
I
like
don't blame her.
America, you can move to commie Russia.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that's, you know, come on, you know how that's exactly
Well,
how
I
people.
think they should bring back Nev Campbell. They should bring back Matthew Lillard, and they should just put Robert England in it as well. Robert England could be Matthew Lillard's dad, Stu's dad, and then they've been lying in wait, and now they are coming after Sydney to finish the job. Because the dad, they all blame her for, because Stu's sister was Rose McGowan, right? She died in that. Maybe they it's her fault, her mom's fault that all this started. That Billy got Stu involved, and that Rose McGowan died. Tatum. It all starts there. They want to finish it once and for all. Huh?
Is that his sister? Really?
Pretty sure that was his sister. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tatum was his sister.
I wish we had that Donald Trump thing where I'm like,
yeah, I believe whenever
I'm
she
just
was
hearing
down in the
this for
garage,
the
someone
first
was like,
time.
Tatum Mocker, is
This is
that
news
you?
to me. Like, yeah, I didn't know it.
I'm pretty sure
this whole time. This whole time, I never knew she was supposed to be his sister.
I thought that was the case. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have swore they were supposed to be brother and sister though. Okay, they can't use that angle still, but still, how cool would it be for Robert England to be his dad and he's back and they're going to finish the job? Maybe Robert England was in love with Sydney's mom.
So they're going to do what they just
and
did in
he's
this
pissed
last
off
movie?
that she turned him down for Billy's dad.
But this last movie just had like a father and son team up.
I know, I know. But the only reason that it works this time is because it's Matt Lillard and because it's Robert England and because Nev Campbell's back.
So
And
it's
maybe
not
they
that they're
finally
just
kill
going
her.
back
Maybe
to
they
the
kill
well,
her.
but they're going back to the well with more iconic characters, which is what's going to breed success.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do they have a choice but to go back for the classic stuff because they just spun off the new stuff? And even though it's not the fault of the storytelling, that has hit a dead end now. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Is it new stuff spun off into new stuff? Or are they going to have to go back to reset? Like, just like I heard what they're doing with the Avengers movies, they're going to get an Avengers movie that takes place in a different timeline or a different time period, so they could bring back Robert Downey Jr. They can bring back Scarlett Johansson. That's what I heard anyway.
You have to pay Robert a lot of money because he said he doesn't want to do it.
You will. But I mean, that's what they think they need to do to get people interested because the new stuff just isn't working.
Yeah.
They just need to stop making stupid woke choices.
Yeah.
They've got so many comic books to choose from where the story's already written for them. They just need to fucking pick an arc, film it. Story's
And they're
already right there.
messing up by breaking continuity and breaking lore so much. Like, you're the ones that chose to have this universe be connected, and then people got super interested in it because it's all connected. You can't just break things that happened before or make things that happened like before or make things that happened before look stupid now in retrospect and yada yada. Like, you got to write around that. Yes, I understand it's hard. It's your choice, though. You made this universe connected. It's in that Thor movie by having Eternity there, by having Thor know about it, by Thor holding the key to get straight to Eternity. He didn't go there to ask them to stop Thanos. Like, it's dumb. And I know that that's nitpicky. That's just one example, though, and one thing that you made this connected universe. You have to write around it. You can't made there have been an option that somebody knew about the entire time that would have made Thanos go away. You just can't do it. That's why people are mad. That's just one example.
Tell
I
him,
don't know how
Steve.
the
Oh,
Loki. I don't know how. I was gonna say I like the Loki series though. I don't know how they're gonna tie that in, or if that's just it's over. I mean, I
I've
know it's
enjoyed
over.
each thing
But what I meant
individually
is,
by itself too, but you can't deny that it breaks stuff from before or it makes stuff from before look stupid.
you mean the
And if
Loki
people are
series
if
in
people are
general,
angry
or
about
you mean like
what's that?
the thing you were talking about?
the Loki series kind of breaks it because it's like he got pulled from the first Avengers movie, so he's gone. And that Loki is now the one in the Loki show.
Well, they pulled a version of him, I thought, right? But technically, that wasn't.
They pulled Loki after they beat the shit out of him in the first Avengers movie. He was locked up and they were taking him away. And
Yeah.
that's the Loki that grabbed the Tesseract, and then the TSA grabbed that Loki. So that is the Loki from the first Avengers movie for
But
continuity wise.
you're forgetting one thing though. That's a separate branch timeline.
That's the main timeline.
No.
Well, that's
Yeah.
definitely the Loki that's in Loki. That's how he got there. That is the Loki that's in Loki. That's how he got there.
616
Is
is the main
I
timeline
mean,
in that.
that Loki became the Loki that we know that died in Infinity War, but it's a different Loki because when they went back in time, he took the Tesseract and escaped from there. So it is a different timeline, but it is still that Loki. But that is the Loki that's in the show. But you forgot that they showed him all the MCU movies, so now he's up to speed, and he, in essence, is our Loki.
But he's seen it, but he didn't live it.
Yeah, but you can tell by the look on his face, they wanted to convey that, oh, he is that Loki now. Now he loves Thor, and now he whatever. Like, they wanted you to. That's what the show wanted you to think, and that's what the show wanted to have happen, is him to have seen all that, experienced it, and now he is that Loki that was in Infinity War. That's what they want. I'm not saying it's true, and I don't buy it, but that's what they want.
I mean,
It
it's
is.
true that he was the one. What happened was when they went back in time for the time stone, that's what made the new branch, which is what made the Loki that got taken by the TVA the new Loki.
Yeah, yeah. But I think we're saying the same thing.
Are we? I mean, maybe. I mean, we
The
are.
Loki that we've seen
I
in
was trying to
Avengers
explain.
and Avengers, he lived on to become the Loki that died in Infinity War. But it was a variant or whatever, a branch, like you said, of the Loki at the end of Avengers 1 that became the Loki of the show.
Yes. Wait.
I think we're saying the same thing.
No. So
I'm just
the
saying
Loki.
he's not the good Loki.
Let's not do
He's
it again.
not.
Let's not do it.
He's
It's all
not good
right.
Loki, and they're portraying him as good Loki.
Yes, he is good
I
Loki.
watched these clips of a different life. Yeah. Oh no, I'm good. No, you're not. You're a fucking piece of
But
shit
that's what they
still.
want you to
That's not what I think.
think.
That
But
is
they've
not what
set
I
up
think.
so many things that just don't make sense. Like, especially when you get into Multiverse of Madness, how they explain how the incursions happen and stuff like that. Then you got America in the same movie. You got America Chavez's parents. They got sent to a different universe or whatever. That means wherever they were at, their universe is dead now because they caused an incursion by being on that planet. So, I mean, they can never have America Chavez find her mom now or anything like
That
that. So, I mean, they cancel that storytelling out unless they do, which means that everything they said. But also, we learned all about that from a different universe. Maybe that's how incursions worked in that universe. But also, you're giving a lot of grace to the writing, for that. Like,
I
with as
thought
long
America
as all the
was
different people were in
neutral.
Spider-Man: No Way Home, we should have started seeing an incursion in that movie because there was people from multiple universes in their universe where they didn't belong, and also none of the TVAs showed up to grab them out. They knew exactly where Loki was in the middle of a desert, and he's a god. Yet they did not know that Dr. Kirk Connors or whatever, from a different timeline, was in the middle of New York City now. Like, it doesn't make sense.
they that's one thing that they can do is the whole incursion stuff.
Well, yeah, but they muddled it. They muddied it up too much by giving alternate information and stuff like that because they're not working together within the same universe. That's what they have to do, and it's harder to do it, but they're the ones that started it.
With
They got to do it.
Loki saving all of the multiverse, they could
Yeah, I
start
haven't
that
seen
though.
Loki season 2, but
Good.
so I don't understand. You have to explain too much for me to get it. But yeah, I mean, I have not. That's the only thing I haven't seen. I was just not in a hurry to watch it. I haven't seen that, and I have not. I haven't seen the Marvels.
No,
What do
I
you
haven't
what do
seen the
you
Marvel.
what do you think of the rumor that Cody Rhodes is going to take over playing Kang the Conqueror?
That's really a rumor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about that.
Well, they don't want the guy that was playing him because of the alleged.
Did that trial finish? Did he get found guilty?
I mean, the
I guess they're just
public the
playing it safe
the
regardless.
public
But
is going to think of him as guilty either way.
yeah, that's true.
Even if it was like, oh, he's innocent, he was proven innocent, and she's a liar. A lot of people are still going to be like, he's a fucking woman beater.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Johnny
look at
Depp. I
Danny
think he
Masterson.
successfully turned that over, but he's Johnny Depp, so I mean
But we love him.
that's not just gonna happen for everybody.
You know
I was
why
gonna
we
say,
love
look at
him?
Danny Masterson. They did that 70 show reboot, right? The
Mm.
90 show, and technically, I mean, the case hadn't finished or anything at that point, but they still wouldn't bring him back because of everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just
No, I
couldn't prove
totally
it.
get that. I totally get that.
So even if he gets acquitted or whatever, I doubt they'll bring him back from the controversy alone.
Yeah, I think they've already decided to move on, from what I understand.
I mean, Red Foreman came back though from his fucking charge of being a cop killer. I mean, you seen he killed Alex Murphy.
Brutal, brutal, terrifying. Actually,
What?
you
Yeah,
haven't seen this
No,
for real?
he killed a cop, man.
Oh my
for
god.
real. I've never that it all over. I have no idea. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it was pretty
He
brutal.
killed me.
He
He killed me.
was going by the name Clarence Boddicker at the time.
You
Yeah,
got me.
that
but I mean, he
Fucking.
look. He
that scene is hard to watch though. That scene, even as a kid, I was like, "Whoa,
he
that's
came
hard to
back from
watch."
that. That's a hard thing to come back from being a cop killer,
Yes, definitely,
and then you're
definitely.
like fucking America's favorite dad.
It was the times though. It was easier to get away with that kind of stuff back in those days. You can't get away with nothing now. They didn't have Twitter at that time.
Yeah, he's
You
lucky.
fucking too. You fucking
All
too
right,
good.
let's jump into our Halloween kills.
I'll
We're
let
doing
I'll
slashers for this round of reviews, and Dr. Mambo had picked Halloween kills
I'll
to
let
be
you
our
guys
first
go
slasher movie.
first. Get your opinions.
Crinkly, I'll let you start.
It was terrible. And I know you guys think I'm probably saying that just because, but
I
I'm
know,
not.
I know why he's gonna. I already know what he's gonna fucking say.
Yeah, you
Oh,
probably do.
I'm gonna put real world logic into this. Why don't they all just team up at him at once and one by one? Get out of here with your real world logic. That's not how horror movies work.
I don't give a shit, man. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I knew
I
it.
will
You-
say that
I
as well,
fucking knew
but
it.
the point is, we're all going to get together and go
got
after
shot
him.
in
So
the
now
fucking
we're all
chest.
together. Let's separate into smaller groups and go after him. Like, I do think that's ridiculous.
Literally one by one. And then on top of that, in slow motion, you see the fucking dude's like ankle come up out of nowhere, and then he's just like shink. And like it's like fucking stupidest fight scene I've ever fucking seen out of any horror movie I've ever watched. And it's just I mean, I get it that you can't inject reality into movies like that, but at the same fucking time, it's
But at the same time, I do.
it's you know, a bent reality, okay, but this is so far from bent reality. This is just like we're not going to make any sense at all, and then go around and then fucking. The dude gets shot in the chest at least twice that you see.
Hey,
The dude shoots off 4
Hey.
shots.
You talking
Hey.
He
about
gets
Tommy?
stabbed in the chest with a pitchfork at one point, beaten in the head, stabbed in the back of the neck, right near the vertebrae, which should have fucking paralyzed his ass for one. Okay, even if you want to say, oh, it was a shallow cut.
Wait, which
The
fight
shit
scene are we
was
talking about right now?
He's
the end
skipping
of.
back and forth between a couple different ones.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Talking about the one with Michael and Tommy.
They stabbed him with a pitchfork right before she led him to the fucking.
He had a few
beam.
minutes to recoup from that. He's
He
supernatural.
got just
He
with a
is supernatural. You
pitchfork,
have to give him
man.
that. He's evil.
He's
He
supernatural.
got stabbed in the face with a pitchfork right
You know
before
what?
she lured him down the street to get shot twice, stabbed in the neck once, repeatedly beaten with the most bluntest of objects possible in the head, in the back, in everywhere you could
A
possibly think of.
baseball bat and an iron.
No, and a chunk of fucking wood. Somebody had literally like a fence post at one point. Not kidding. You could go back and watch it.
I've seen
just
it.
saw it.
I've seen it multiple
Then
times, and it's
then you
phenomenal.
should know how stupid that is. I'm
It is.
sorry.
It's
I'm
phenomenal.
sorry, but that took the fuck out of me.
Hey,
Listen,
okay. Can I give my 2 cents? I didn't feel as strongly as you feel about that element, but I did pick that out. I will say that I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it actually more than I did the last time that I saw it. I don't think it's that good, but I think there's a lot of good stuff about it. I think the music is fantastic. I think the scenes of him randomly just going around killing people, I think is excellent. I mean, when I saw the elderly couple, the mixed race elderly couple, that scene
He
this
cut
time when I
out.
watched it through,
It's almost like they were like, "No, we're gonna fucking censor you because this does not sound good." When you're like the mixed couple, something was like, "No, this sounds bad."
I could see normally so that was me trying to be sensitive. Normally I would just said the white guy and the black lady, whenever he killed them, super uncomfortable. Because the actor and actress did such a great, especially the lady, she did such a good job. And I was just like, oh my god, like I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here watching it. He's killing her. He's killing her. Yeah, it's very good on that type of stuff.
can I
I thought it
spoiler?
was
Can I
pretty whack to
spoiler?
bring back Nurse Chambers just to kill her like that. Like, why even bring her back? Let her rest in peace. Let her have died peacefully. Like, bring her back just so she can get her. That was a pretty intense scene too. I think all the death stuff was good. I think it was all intense. I think it was raw. Um, I think it was comically ridiculous that the
Big John and Little John.
the black lady who was dressed up as a nurse was actually a doctor.
Shit,
Oh
that
yeah.
shit was
Also,
part.
why are they a doctor and a nurse and going for Halloween as a doctor and a nurse? Come on. Oh, it's a joke because he's dressed as a doctor and I'm dressed as a nurse, but actually I'm the doctor and he's the nurse. Ha ha ha. she goes to shoot Michael. He kicks the door open, and this gun spins around like that, and she shoots herself in the face.
That was amazing.
I thought that I liked him, but at the same time, I was just like, oh, that was funny. It was pretty funny. And there was a lot of people screaming, but not taking any kind of action. I did like how they brought back Tommy, you know, and I love Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody else say this in a review, and it started making me think about it too. Is that they don't really focus in on any one thing too much. There's not really a main character in the movie, so it
No,
like
it's
gets
about
our
the
attention, like not focused and scattered because the movie itself isn't focused and it's kind of scattered. Did you guys pick up on anything like that?
city going crazy that it's all happening again.
I think
Yeah.
that it really
The
had something
city's the
crazy to
character.
say with the danger of a mob rule like that, because like they got everybody riled up. They're going after that guy, that other escaped mental patient who's not Michael, and handful of people realize that's not the guy we're looking for. But everybody is so riled up, they go at him anyway. You know, I think that it really, especially in this day and age, to have that stance, I think is pretty crazy. To say this is the danger of a mob type rule, and have something negative to say about it, even though there's a bunch of people that think about this and a bunch of people that are fighting for it, doesn't necessarily make it the right thing.
Yeah.
So I
It's-
thought it was
That was
crazy
the
that they
whole
actually would make a
premise of the
statement like
movie.
that.
I mean, that was the whole premise of the movie. Essentially,
No,
it
it
was
wasn't.
that.
It was one part of it.
Individuals are smart, groups of people are stupid.
But in the end, but in Halloween Ends, they made it a point to say that that's basically
But we're
what
not talking
happened.
about that though. We're not talking about that though.
I know, but it does draw to this.
They
It
might have thought of
does.
that afterwards though. They might have only put that in Halloween Ends because of what they did in Halloween Kills. That's why I don't want to discuss that.
No. I would bring it up if they did. Uh, Jamie Lee Curtis actually at the end in her monologue mentions it about what it did to the town as well. And I know they did it kind of in both. They did like her monologue at the end of the movie Halloween Kills, and then she also started doing a monologue for Halloween Ends for, I don't want to spoil alert, but she's writing a book. I'll just say that. It's not too much of a spoiler, but so she does do some monologuing in that. But no, at the very end, she also talks about what it does
At
to
the
that
very
town.
at the very end of Halloween Kills, it talks about that.
I am pretty sure, yeah, because
No,
it's
that's
like
Halloween
as
Ends. She does
no, they do it in
she does the book in Halloween Ends.
the book, yes, but I meant monologuing, like narrating in the
I don't
background.
remember there being a monologue at the end. Oh, maybe
It's
there
during
was. When
the
when
doc.
Karen was going up to look out the window, maybe there was a monologue. That's another thing too, is they started something, but I didn't get it. The whole thing about Michael looking out that window, and it felt like to me a lot of it was playing with the reflection. I mean, yeah, that's what, because they outright said he's looking at himself. He's looking at the reflection of himself. He's not looking out the
Oh
window. But
shit!
I didn't quite get what they were trying to convey. Oh, I didn't quite get what they were trying to convey, and it felt like they were laying it on pretty thick. And I just didn't get that. That didn't land with me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just him seeing his reflection, seeing evil reflected back at him,
Mm-hmm.
and
It just
then
seems that they dedicated a lot of time to that story element without really a payoff for it. I just think the movie was scattered.
I think
That
the
being said, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it a lot, actually. Like I said, even more this time than the last time.
I think the
But I think this might have only
payoffs
been the second time I saw it.
I think the payoffs were from both of the kills that he got. Even though technically Hawkins shot that officer and Michael didn't kill him, but Michael would have. I think the payoff was in the very end scene when he got Karen, because she went up there to see like what he's seeing, see if she can get a glimpse into it.
And I thought that was just a little anticlimactic for her. She was a good character, a really good character, and I've always liked Judy Greer. And I think that was an anticlimactic way for her to exit. I don't know. I think maybe they should have saved that for the third one. I thought, and this is the first time, as far as I remember, that a Halloween movie has done this, but I hate it when a horror movie ends it like they know there's a sequel. Like horror movies need to end and then start back up again. There's always some way that the bad guy comes back or something like that. But I hate it when it ends in a way where it's like it's not even an ending. This is a pause until next time. I don't like that. That's how See
Hey,
No Evil 2 ended, and it ruined the entire movie for me.
they knew they were doing the trilogy ahead of time, though.
Well, yeah, but still, they gotta end it and then start it up again. Like it for me, it just doesn't. It is. I still haven't even seen Halloween Ends, but for me, it doesn't work. I hate it when horror movies do that. And there's always got to be an ending. You know, it could start back up anytime. Yeah, I mean, and even if they knew going into it there's going to be a third one, they could have planned for it even better to have an actual ending with a good reason why we thought it was over, but it's not. And I think they dropped the ball on that, or maybe they did exactly what they were going for. It's just my taste, and I don't like it, and it's not for everybody. That's cool, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah. Like, COVID also happened in between filming 2 and 3.
That's true.
And I think they changed some of the third movie to, like, accommodate. Because Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills are the same night. And
Yes,
then
and I like that too because I think because Halloween and Halloween 2 were happening the same night, so I like that they did that as well.
and Halloween Ends takes place 2 or 3 years after the events. Because the first one takes place Halloween night in 2018 for movies 1 and 2. And then the time gap because of COVID in real life and everything. This last one took place Halloween 2022. So they had to explain the time gap between.
Yeah.
I mean, they explain it between then as like Michael disappeared. They can't find him. Is he dead? They don't know. And like what it did to the town. Because like the way you could take it is like when it happened in like 1978, when the first movie happened, you could say like they didn't have social media, everything's not reported like it was, and that's why he was like a myth and a rumor. But like now with how we have everything and everybody could just jump online and there's constant reminders, is like
They should have used that more. They should have had people like spotting him and posting it, and then the mob is seeing people post these things like, "Oh, he was just spotted here. I recognize this. That means they're on Oak Street or whatever." And like they should have used that more.
they
Sorry, guys.
No, you're not.
Hmm?
but they
I thought something that was really funny was when Jamie Lee Curtis was told he's still alive, and she's like, "Oh, we got to get out there." So she took that shot. Do you remember when she took when she gave herself that shot? Yeah, she was like, like, and you couldn't get stuck it in. Like, she had to shake herself with it so hard, and I started laughing pretty hard. I thought that was so funny.
like she probably didn't
There-
even know what it was. She just knew it was some kind of painkiller.
Yeah,
She's like, fuck it.
yeah.
I think that's what she screams right before she
So
stabs herself.
dramatic.
She's like, "What? You don't even know what that is. It's for the pain." Ah!
The thing I
It's just
like
so
is
violent the way she stabbed herself.
Okay. See, I know I came out strong, but the truth is, okay, like even though I don't like the opening scene and the ending scene, I will say that everything in between was pretty fucking good. It was pretty much. I would say it was gold. It was gold worthy.
I'm going to say I don't think that the story is good. I don't think it's a coherent story at all, but I think that almost every individual scene, if viewed by itself, is really good. Like I said, the effects, the way it's shot, the music, the acting, everything is great. The story is just so weak for me. And again, there's just a lot of people die in anticlimactic ways, and yeah. So I mean, but I still like it. I would still watch it again. So, but all right, Dr. Mambo, you still haven't really said your opinion on the movie.
It's perfect. It's the most perfect movie I've ever seen. Especially the opening scene and the ending scene where he's fucking everybody up. The way Michael Myers fucks people up.
Unrealistically, yeah, I know.
Crazy how that fireman, he's got that saw. The saw has to come back more than 180 degrees to get him in the face. More than 180. That's wild.
Hey, he's supernatural.
He is.
He
That's what I
is.
told my Uncle Jim. I said, how can he drive? He's been in prison since he was, 6 years old. How can he drive? And he looked at me and he said, he's evil. That's it. That's the only explanation you need.
I think that's what the monologue was about too. That's what the monologue was about.
Evil dies tonight. Oh, that story that Tommy told him at the talent show, what a weak story. Like, it only made sense because we have the backstory for it. Anybody else that didn't know what he's talking about, was like, what is this guy talking about? Why is he being so dramatic? What a terrible way to tell that story.
Especially
he says, at this time, a guy terrorized this family, a young boy and a girl, and their babysitter saved him. I was that young boy. The boogeyman is real, and he might be coming back for you. Like, that's it. That was the whole story.
And that boy was me.
Told the actual story.
That would have been amazing if he did that.
And I know that a lot of husband and wife or that dynamic is just like this, but when the overachieving black couple is sitting there and they're making a bunch of noise, and the girl gives the guy this look like, well, you're not going to say nothing? We're being rude. So then he says something, and then she just goes and looks away. How about like an acknowledgement of, oh, thanks for saying something or whatever, right? I don't know. I don't like
she
it.
treated him like a bitch the entire time. That's how she ended up getting shot in the face in the first place. Because remember, he had the gun, and then she was belittling him and was like, "Oh, do you even know how to handle that thing? Give me that. I know how to handle that thing."
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds.
And the way that guy died, though, was gruesome. Like, the knife just goes in so slow, and you just like see it moving the whole time. It's good. Like I said, I would watch it again. Horror movies, I don't think necessarily have to be good, but there's definitely some things that make a horror movie not. I don't want to watch it again. But it doesn't have to have a great story. But yeah, that's where I sit on this one.
Was that your favorite kill?
I would say it was probably between that one and the lady of the mixed race elderly couple. Both pretty intense, acting wise, visuals wise, like pretty intense, I think.
Yeah, the way he dragged that dude's body over in front of the wife after, while she was just sitting there fucking dying.
That was
like, lays him over the counter and stabs him in the back with one.
He's just having fun at that point.
Yeah.
Literally. He put him on a cutting board and just used him as a pincushion for a knife set. It was fucking intense. More intense because she still had that fucking light sticking out of her neck the whole fucking.
Yeah.
It was like,
I think everything was just so well done in that. Crazy.
I do love the scenes that he put him in, like each of his kills. Like you know how it. I do have some respect for that. It's just over the top ridiculous turned into it's like over the top ridiculous gore turned into humor is what it is. The way I think my favorite kill had to be between Big John and Little John, and their death arrangement when he has Little John in the head, like he's resting his head on the dude's dick, and then in the background is that we'll be together forever.
But he recreated the picture of them sitting in that pose. There's a picture of them where they're in that pose, but they're reversed. So he He reversed how they are, but I mean, he recreated the picture that's like above them.
I didn't even notice that. That's cool.
I didn't notice that.
You know the 3 kids that pranked them? One of them was wearing that skull mask, and when Nurse Chambers with the overachieving black couple and the other girl, whenever they go there, and that head comes onto the thing, and it ends up on the toy thing that spins around. So I think he killed that kid, right? Took his
Yeah.
head off. It doesn't show that, but that's crazy that they would even apply it. It's like I said, even for this day and age, it's just wild to be like, yeah, he cut this kid's head off. Like that's nuts.
They did it on his release. I thought it was crazy. Can we talk about that? I know it's the prequel. We technically skipped it anyway. If we're doing the second one instead of the first one, but he kills a kid in 2018.
Does he?
Remember when he first? Yeah, when he first loses when he first escapes the bus.
Oh yeah, because he goes into that random
That
house,
farmer
right?
and the kid. Yeah, the farmer and the kid, they stop because of the bus, and he tells his
Okay,
kid
yes,
to.
yes. Yeah, I thought that was wild too. Whenever I saw it, I remember that now. I remember thinking like, that's wild if he's actually going to kill this kid. Like that's nuts
I
that he did.
know.
Yeah, it's been a
I
while since I
honestly
watched
I
it,
didn't
but
see
I
it
remember that
coming.
now.
It's one of my favorite scenes from the first one is when that kid walks on the bus and Dr. Zartan fucking pops up and he just fucking shoots him. Like
Don't
no,
shoot.
like, hey, who are you? What are you doing? Hey, who is that? It's just boom. And he's just like fucking just unloaded. Didn't think
He
about
even
it. Just
says
shot and ran.
what's
And
funny is that's what he says when he first sits up. He's like, "Don't shoot." Damn.
Oh goodness! In all this time, I never thought of what movie I wanted for my slasher movie. So I'm trying to think now. So we've been talking about Scream. I was thinking about doing a Scream, maybe even the first one. I'd like to do all of them eventually, but something like that, or even one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I'm trying to think about what would be best. Oh, that one was pretty good. Have you guys seen Final Girls?
I think I started it, but I don't think I finished it.
Let me think. All right, give me to the end of the episode to name what I want it to be. I'm going to think about it in the meantime. But do we have final thoughts on Halloween Kills?
It was terrible.
It was the greatest masterpiece I've ever seen. There will never be a better movie ever.
All right,
I guess I'm right in the middle there. I guess I'm right in the middle.
Literally too. On mine, it goes me, him, and then you. On our screen, it's like, yeah, it's perfect. No, okay. If I'm being honest, I do like the fact that he killed pretty much like half the town. It felt like,
Killed
and
everybody.
somehow he fucking for real. It felt like it.
That's the purpose of that movie. Like, you want a vicious Michael? We will give you a fucking vicious Michael.
Really, I thought the point of that movie was evil dies tonight.
It did. He killed Tommy Doyle. That little fucking evil bastard. Locking
See the
Laurie.
way he murdered that poor innocent
without
escape.
saying a word, conveyed so much in his face. Oh, whenever he jumps out the window, like he just see the pain, feel the pain, just from the look on his face. I don't know. Like, he didn't even say a word, but he did a great job.
Oh, what was your favorite? You say your favorite kill was Big John, Little John?
Yeah.
Yours was the old man and the black lady?
Yeah, either her or the black nurse, the guy nurse.
Oh,
Can
I, by the way, can I say one thing real quick, just so I can distance myself from this?
Yeah.
When you say an overachieving black couple,
Yeah.
are you telling me that by them becoming a nurse and a doctor, that's black people overachieving? Because if so,
I think for
I don't agree with
anybody to
that.
become a doctor or
That
a nurse,
racist motherfucker up here thinks by himself. I don't know what he means by that.
Not that it's not believable, but they obviously put them in the movie as a doctor and a nurse for a reason.
Hey,
They're like,
hey,
oh,
man,
we
that's
want the
your
black couple
that's
to be
your
in here. What are we going to have their professions? Oh, let's make one of them a cashier and one of them an accountant or whatever. Like, no, they're obviously going. I mean, yeah, accountant's a great job. That just came off the top of my head and it was not right.
That's too good for them.
You know, like obviously they're going to have excellent jobs.
said overachieving. If he
Yeah,
was just
any couple that is both doctors and nurses, it's an overachieving couple. It's just a descriptive term of the couple's actions.
Hey,
it's all right, you could justify it.
it's just a movie, man. We know they wouldn't still be married like that if it was in real life. Come on.
It's
She
just a stereotype that they put into the movie on purpose. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
she'd be on welfare and he'd be in prison.
Also, elderly
You
mixed
know
race
this.
couple. You think that was an accident? They put them in there on purpose, which is cool because now they get to check all those boxes that some people like, and then for the rest of us that don't care, we're all good with it. You know, like so that's fine. They got to check their boxes, and everybody wins.
I would say my favorite kill is
That's all I'm gonna say.
my favorite kill was Cameron, and it's because because she was at the bottom of the stairs trying to save him, and Michael's like, Michael's just like takes the time to be like, no, fuck you, I am gonna kill him in front of you, you dumb little bitch. No. And he just fucking like twists his fucking head right in front of her after like brutally beating the fuck out of him where he's gonna die. Even if he walked away, he's gonna die, but he's just like, no, I need the cherry on top.
Yeah, I think they
You're begging.
definitely got him over as just a monster, like in these movies, like for real.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Like,
he's fucking twisted. Seriously twisted in the second one.
he is. The other, I don't know. It's a weird transition out, and I don't know how else I'd transition into it. But I made a note of it just so I didn't forget. The other day I was super fucking tired when I started work, and where I turn out from, we have construction down the road, and I went to go get over in the left lane, knowing that it's gonna close and I'd have to get all the way back over again. So as I made my way over, this is a pointless story. As I made my way over, in my head I was thinking, why'd you do this? There's construction up ahead. But what came out of my mouth is, they're doing surgery up there. That came out of my mouth. And as soon as it did, I was like, what the fuck? I was tired. Like,
That's what happens.
Construction is now surgery. They're doing surgery up there.
That's what happens to old people, man.
It is.
Yeah.
You fall asleep.
It is. So we did the Thanksgiving. We did the news about Melissa Barrera. Is there anything else?
How long are we at so far?
An hour and
About
30.
an hour, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you
As
want
we
to do
started
the
at
would you rather,
4:30.
we can, or else we can save that for next time. I think we're pretty much done. Trying to look for something to get inspiration because I wanted to reach for something with this choice, but
Oh,
what about the wrong turn movies? What kind of movie would you consider that? It's not necessarily slasher, but
if I had to
I
pick a
mean, it's
genre,
people
I'd put it
running
in
from
slasher.
somebody who's gonna come at you. Would you consider that in the same vein?
Because I think of it in the same vein as like Friday the 13th, and I think of Friday the 13th as a slasher.
Okay. Yes.
Like
All
a
right, then we're
thriller
gonna go with one of the
slasher.
wrong turn movies. I'm pretty sure it's Wrong Turn 3. I think Wrong Turn 3 is probably the best one. It might be 4 though. Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves because I am going to look this up real quick.
All right.
All right.
The
Are we still gonna do Well, it's just us. I'll ask you: are we still going to do that phone call, or?
I mean, the guy hasn't said anything. I don't know if he's even still here. Um, I would rather get the number after the stream. Like if he wants to send it in a private message somewhere. This is
All
one of those
right.
things. Like I don't want the
If you
guy
don't feel
who we
comfortable with
call.
it, it's all good.
It's not that I don't feel comfortable. Like I'm comfortable making the call. I just don't want the number. Like if I put it up and forget to blur it, then he'd be like, that guy released my phone number.
Yeah, he doxed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, if
so
somebody wants to send you the number after we go get off of being live, then
like we could do it next time, or we could end the stream and then start a new one just for that. But it's a weird. I don't know. It's
No,
a weird thing to
I got
ask.
plans. I thought we were going to
Yeah.
actually end sooner than what we did, and I'm running way later than I planned on. But it's all right.
So is
All right,
it
then
3
I
or
say we
4?
wrap it up, and I'm going to say wrong turn 3. Now you don't necessarily have to see either of the other wrong turns. I think the wrong turns, like they're those kind of movies that some of it's really bad, but I think they're all really good. I really like them all. Have you seen any of them? I
Yeah,
know,
the
I know,
first one.
Mambo has.
I
I've seen
have.
the first one.
And I love the first one. I thought the first one was great. And the second one, they're making a reality show in those woods. So then there's all the people filming it and all the actors and stuff like that. And then of course there's these crazy, inbred monsters in the woods. And the third one, they are transferring a bus of prisoners from one to another, and then the bus wrecks because Three Finger, that's one of the bad guys, that's one of his names, runs them off the road. So then it's all these prisoners in the woods with the inbred monsters. And if memory serves, this one might be the one where Three Finger is the only one, because one of them there's only one bad guy in it, and he has a son also, a little teenage monster. But there's three brothers or whatever in the first one and the second one. I think all of them except for the third one. The third one is just Three Finger, but really good. It's my favorite one. So I can't wait to see what you guys think about it.
We're watching number
Alright.
3.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, I could end us with the would you rather. There's no dick in it this time to disappoint you guys.
All right. Let's do it.
Oh, so I don't end up sucking my dad's dick in this one? Oh, okay.
No, not this week. Would you rather live in a universe where Freddy really exists and it's in your town? Or would you rather live in the worst part of Afghanistan as a woman? Hard choice.
Now, this does not change my answer, but why, if Freddy is real, are we still living in this town and we haven't moved yet? Like, why did my parents leave me in this position?
Because
Yeah, it might.
they're like parents that are like, we don't believe you, son.
There's
You're a little lying
Can we
bastard.
not
we
like a
move?
known thing, like the whole neighborhood,
No,
the whole town doesn't know about
it's
Freddy.
just like a Freddy movie.
Okay,
Like you
okay, okay. I
like you're
got
there. You're there. There's no like, oh, there's a killer that's here and he kills you in your
It's
dreams.
hard for me to answer this unbiased because I would love to live in a Freddy movie. I know I probably would not make it very long, but I would love it. Either way, you're dead. So I think that I would rather not get patty caked before I
Beheaded?
die. So I'm gonna choose the Freddy movie.
Patty caked.
Uh, well, shit.
Is it that hard?
Is
You
it
gave
a,
me a real Sophie's choice on this one, man. I mean,
This one was pretty
and yet at
easy.
the same time, I feel like there's more imminent death on the second part of your on the second part of the would you rather.
Yeah.
I got yeah, because honestly, either you're some dude's fuck slave, essentially, right? I mean, come on, right? Because you have to be married.
Hey, I don't know what goes on in the
I'm
worst
sure there
parts of
are some
Afghanistan.
happy women there. I mean,
You
I
think
would
there's
think
happy
that
women there?
odds-wise, there's got to be a couple, right? I'm not saying it's a sizable
The
percentage at
ones
all,
that
but
listen, I guess.
maybe they enjoy it if they enjoy that lifestyle or whatever.
I mean, it's
Like
it's all
secretly,
they
I like
know.
to be I like to be enslaved. It's my kink.
Okay, well, what if you take this off the table and you say a woman in Afghanistan, but you can't die, or you will only die of old age. So you will age naturally and die naturally, but you cannot be killed.
But that's not what
Oh,
happens over there.
I know, but
sounds
that's
like
why I'm asking to spice it up. It's an easy answer for me.
it's an
Again, you're
easy
dead either
answer. I'd
way.
say Freddy. I'd say Freddy because at this point I'm the adult. He and
So we probably wouldn't be coming after you.
while you say it's a Freddy movie, who says I wasn't already planning on selling my house? You don't know the world. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
With this economy, you wouldn't be able to sell your house and get into something new. We know that. Come on.
That's
Hey,
true.
hey, hey,
With
hey,
the
hey.
high interest rates,
This is set in the
you're
90s.
crazy. No, it's not.
You didn't. Did you say
I would
now?
100%
Technically,
rather
yeah.
have Freddy be real and live in my town, though. I'm not going to Afghanistan.
Yeah. I
Good
mean,
Even in
choice.
yeah, it's
Afghanistan,
true.
as a man, I'd rather have Freddy be in my town.
Why
Yeah,
did you
probably.
say
I wouldn't
something
want
so confrontational yet so true? Or whatever the fuck that meme is.
I have to agree. Yeah, I'd still rather have a Freddy in my town, especially with everything that's going on over there right now. I mean, you come on.
Yeah.
What's going on over
I
there?
don't know what's going on over there, but I assume it's bad.
Not
I don't
not in
know.
Afghanistan, but I mean, you're not that far from everything that's going on with. Like
With the,
how far is Afghanistan
with
away
everything
from
that Melissa Barrera is talking about, it ties back in to Scream. It's
No.
close. It's close to where she's like, "Hey,
I was just saying
they're fucking up my people."
I wasn't choosing sides. I wasn't choosing sides. I was just saying the conflict that is going on over in the Middle East right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're still Middle
There's
Eastern.
always a conflict going on over there. There has been for thousands of years, and there's gonna be
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
constantly gonna be going
But
on.
during an active conflict is different. I'd rather not be there.
Always active over there. They're always killing each other. Come on.
There's slow periods.
I mean, they gotta have some time to repopulate to get the numbers back up.
Everybody's got to eat, right? Like,
Yeah. So
All right.
you'd rather be around
and got
Freddy. You'd rather be in a
yeah,
dream with
100%
Freddy
American.
than be
Yeah,
an
Freddy,
Afghani
yes.
woman.
Yes, 100%.
You know what?
Alright,
I'm changing my answer.
alright.
I changed my answer for one reason,
What was
and
that?
one reason alone. Because when my husband isn't around, I am going to flick that bean. You're telling me right now you don't want to experience what a female orgasm feels like?
Experience that.
Get out of here. Get out of here. It just hit me. I forgot about that. I'd still have that option, and that option sounds way more fascinating.
Have you ever seen the show The Misfits?
No.
Nope.
It's
Wait,
fantastic. And there's one. It's
yes.
about a storm and people get superpowers.
We
Um,
have seen it.
one person there, and it's only a very small part of it. This is not a big storyline or anything. Has the ability to change back and forth from a guy to a girl, and enjoys masturbating as a girl. He starts out as a guy and enjoys. He says it's different. He tries to explain how it feels different doing it as a woman from a guy. At one point, he gets stuck as a woman because he's doing it too much, or because he was a woman when something else happened. They get cause him to get stuck like that. I don't remember, but it just reminded me of it. It's a great show. A great show. You should definitely watch it if you haven't seen it.
It is.
I'll check it out. Misfits? Okay.
It took me a moment after hearing the name, but yes. The
So good.
I forget his name, but the main character who can't die.
Nathan. Oh, why'd you say that?
Spoilers.
He gets a whole storyline in the first season because they don't know what his power is.
I don't know how else to fucking explain the guy.
My
Use
bad. I
descriptive
shouldn't have even said
details,
what I
dude.
did because
Describe his
it was big and it was big enough. But yeah, I've started watching the show with a couple people. It never goes very far because either after he leaves they get pissed, or if I warn them that one person, I was like, hey, just so you know, this guy right here is eventually going to leave, so know that ahead of time and don't just get pissed off when it happens. Oh, he's gonna leave? Well, I'm done watching the show. By
Why
the
are
time
we
the
even
show
watching
ends, the
it?
cast is entirely different than it is at the start, but it's 110% worth the watch.
It is.
I'll check it out.
Really good.
But I'm gonna get going.
All
I've
right,
already-
Crinkly, start thinking about what you want for your slasher movie to suggest next time too, and make sure we watch Wrong Turn 3 for next time. We plan on next weekend.
As far as I know, I'm always
Yeah.
free.
All right. Well, let's do it.
All right, man.
Do it
I
to
always
it,
make them.
Lars.
All right, Crinkly, you have to stand by, and you're not allowed to say anything. You just have to watch us do this. Next time we'll do the game though, so you can win the right. Okay, have the chance at winning the right. Are you ready, Dr. Mambo?
I'm ready, friend.
All right.
Bye, brother.
Summer night, would you dance with the wolf in the pale moonlight?